know girls be hating when your body is starting to look snack. I need some tea now. I was so depressed. Hey everybody, it's your girl Sherlina and I'm back today with a new video. I know it's been a while. I need to be more consistent with my videos, but I was a bit busy, so I was always thinking I'm going to shoot today, but today I finally have the time to shoot a video. And I actually wanted to shoot a fashion haul, but today I just feel like talking to you guys. I mean, I get DMs from you all the time about your problems, and I'm sometimes having the impression that you think my life is so perfect when it's not. Like, I'm actually going through the same struggles as you guys. When I went through all these messages, I was feeling like so many people are speaking about fake people around them, fake friends, friendships, or let me just call them frenemies. Because I have a whole book when it comes to fake friendships, I was thinking, let me start with chapter 1 today. Make sure you get yourself a tea, some snacks, cause yeah, we're about to have a serious tea time now. We're gonna start. It's so full. I hope this time I'm not failing. It works now. This tea is so nice, by the way. It's raspberry vanilla. I don't even know how to start with this story cause it's just so much. Let me just start when I was 14 years old and I met this one girl, and because this video is really not to bash anyone and I've been over it now. I'm happy, I'm in a happy space. That's why I'm just gonna change the name of everyone involved so no one feels offended. So I met this girl, let me just call her Cindy, when I was like 14 years old, and we had different kind of interests. Like, she was interested in baking, cooking, and all these other stuff, and I was obviously interested in fashion, hair, nails, but I didn't have a lot of money, so it was more of like a dream, to be honest with you. But even though we didn't really have the same interest over the years, because we liked each other so much, we just became friends, and over the years we became best friends. I think it was approximately maybe 18, so like 4 years flew by, and I introduced another friend to her, and let me just call this girl Melissa, and we started hanging out with each other for like a couple of weeks maybe, like, or maybe a month. We went to cinemas together, clubbing, and all these type of things. And Melissa and Cindy, they didn't really know each other before this, but me and Melissa, I knew her for like maybe like also like 4 or 5 years at this period of time. So obviously I was a bit closer to her than they were close with each other. And all of a sudden, from one day to the next, Melissa blocked me everywhere. I don't even think we had WhatsApp back in the days, but she blocked me on Facebook, and I think it was MSN, if you know this, where she blocked me, so I couldn't reach her nowhere. She wasn't accepting my cards whatsoever. Obviously, the first person that comes into my mind that I can ask what's going on is Cindy, because I introduced them with each other, and they became, yeah, sort of friends. I mean, it was only a month, but like, let me just say they were also friends. And Cindy was assuring me, I don't know it, I don't know what has happened, blah, 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 nothing to do with it. And because I obviously, after 4 years, like, you trust a person, and I loved this girl. She was like my sister. Because she was also such a sweet friend, like, she would do everything for you. When is your birthday? She would make sure you have the sweetest birthday ever. So I trusted her. But sometimes I was still thinking, it's weird, because obviously a girl is a stalker, and I went to her Facebook page and I could see that her and Melissa are still the biggest of friends. So I was wondering, like, I did not do nothing to this girl. Like, she literally blocked me from one day to the next. That was the thing that I could not really trust. So we weren't really close with each other no more, and from day to day we were talking less and less, and we ended up not speaking anymore. Half a year later, my birthday came up. And I told you, this girl, when it's your birthday, she gonna do the most for you. Obviously, she messaged me a whole essay that obviously she misses our friendships and whatsoever. And I was just thinking, oh, whatsoever, I don't know. Let me just forget about it. And yeah, the topic was never really in the room anymore. So over the time, we became friends again, the bestest of friends. Another 4 years later, I get a message on Facebook from Melissa telling me she has to meet me, like, she needs to speak to me. So I met her in a coffee shop, and the first thing she says is, I'm so tired seeing you and Cindy's friendship on social media. And then she said, oh, Okay, so why I'm really here right now is because I want to tell you that the reason I was not speaking to you anymore, why I was blocking you, is her. 4 or 5 years ago, when all this happened, Cindy came to me and said to me, you said this and this and this and that about me. Then she goes on, and that's actually the part that shocked me, because in the first place I was thinking maybe she just want to like, maybe she's jealous of the friendship of me and Cindy, maybe she just want to separate us. But when she said this, and then she goes on and tells me all these private things about me and my ex-boyfriend around this time, if I don't speak to Cindy, I'm not going to judge her so far because I need to hear her side of the story. Went out of the coffee shop, called Cindy, and I asked her, like, so don't you have anything to tell me? Okay, so she was crying and crying, and I was just thinking, what the hell, how can you even cry? Like, I'm the one that has to cry right now. So obviously, I ended this friendship. All these things she told me this, I didn't even say about her, and she admitted even that she just said this because I don't even know why, I don't even remember why. Like, the months went by, but this girl, like I told you, she's like the sweetest kind of girl. So she kept messaging me every day, telling me how important I am to her and that she's so sorry and everything. And after a while, let me just say I fell for the trap. So I was thinking, let me just forgive her. Like, let me give her a second chance, because you have to be a very strong person sometimes to give someone else a second chance, and obviously to forgive them genuinely. And that's what I did. I need some tea now to come to the rest of the story. Me and Cindy became the closest of friends again, and obviously the years went by, we got older. I think during this time I was studying law, working at H&M, and she was doing an apprenticeship. After a certain amount of time, I was thinking, oh, me and Cindy are so close, and I have another group of friends. Why don't we just all do something together? I introduced her to my other group of friends. Obviously, she knew them before, but we were never doing things with each other. But that changed, so we started hanging out a little bit more. And yeah, it was kind of a fun time. When I think about this time, I mean, I'm actually over, but sometimes when you think about a time in your life that really faced you, you just get a little bit upset. Around this time, I was having my Instagram and it started growing. Like, I would have never even expected it to grow, but it started growing. And some of these girls were making funny side notes about me. Like, they were saying, like, oh, do you have to take a picture today again? And oh, it's just Instagram and all these things, when I know it's just Instagram, but I just like putting up my outfits and that's how it was. So I just felt a little bit of animosity. Okay, so Carnival was around the corner. We all flew to London, had an amazing apartment in Central. Obviously, when you travel with a group of friends, you cannot avoid it. We are all different. We had like little arguments about what we're doing now and what we eating and all these type of things, but that was just little. I had some friends here and we met them on one day and we had a fun day at Carnival and we decided to go out later with them, but they weren't really having a good time at this club. So they just decided to go home, which was totally fine with me, but because they were my friend, I just wanted to stay there with them and just come home later, which was also totally fine with them. I came home in the morning and all of a sudden, everything changed. Like, all these girls were weird, like, because we had one day left before we left London. We had to do something, so we went out to some restaurant and we were still in the tube and everything, and I was really third wheeling. Like, they were making jokes and everything that I didn't understand. Like, I was feeling so, I don't know if you've ever been in this situation when people that are supposed to be your friends make you feel so uncomfortable. Like, I was feeling like I'm not supposed to be there right now. Like, they don't want me here. And I felt, I know, like, I was so sad and upset inside of me, but I just had to keep this mask and I was just trying to make it seem like I don't care when I did. And then, yeah, the day went by. Then we flew back to Hamburg. Cindy and we shared a suitcase together, so I was thinking, nah, thank God she has to come to my house later to get her stuff so I can speak to her in private and ask her, like, why are these girls so weird to me? Like, what have I done? And why are you weird to me too? Because she didn't do no effort to speak to me or make me feel better, when this is actually what a best friend is supposed to do. And yeah, when we were at my house, she did not say nothing. Like, she was kind of acting like everything was fine, if I keep it honest with you. I remember that she took a nap in my house and I was thinking, fine. I mean, if she sleeps there, everything should be fine. She went home, and that was the last time I spoke to her around this time. Like, I never heard from this girl again. After a couple of days went by, I noticed that all these other girls were not checking for me as well. No text messages, no nothing. They didn't even like my pictures on Instagram. And you know, when you have friends, this is important. Like, when you see some of your friends are not liking your pictures, you think, And the crazy part for me was that I've seen them being the bestest of friends on Instagram, leaving the craziest emojis, the craziest essays underneath their pictures, and I was just thinking, well, like, what have I done? So I think like a week went by and I haven't spoken to none of them. So I was thinking, nah, let me just be the bigger person and let me just reach out to them and ask them, like, what's going on? So I started texting one of them, ask her, like, okay, like, if you have a problem with me, I don't think you should do this through social media. You should speak to me. Like, we should have a grown conversation if there's a problem. No response, so I texted another one of them. So I kind of like texted like 3 or something of them. After a couple of hours, all of them sent me like an essay that I said this about them, that I said that about them, like silly things. Even one of them said, you said about me that I used your last towel. Bruh. I was thinking, why the hell would I say this? When I read these essays, I was just thinking, it kind of looked to me like they just wanted to get rid of me. This is fine to me, I'm a strong person, but what broke me was the fact that they sent me this essay, all of them blocked me, none of them wanted to speak to me, none of them wanted to hear what I had to say about this topic. No one wanted to hear my voice, so I didn't have a chance to speak up, and this is what broke me. I was just kind of lost. Woke up the next day crying for the whole day. I was so depressed. Like, I don't think I've ever been in such a dark space. I really lost the motivation for everything. I'm so happy for my sisters because they really helped me during this period of time, and it's so important to have a close bond with your family because they really have your back, especially when it comes to these type of situations. And I think if I would have not had them, I don't know if I would be here today because I was so depressed. After the weeks went by and the tears got drier and drier, and I was thinking, I have 2 choices. Either I'm going to be this miserable, depressed person, or I'm going to change this and start to bring up the best of me again. Because these girls, they just made up their agreement that they don't want to be with me anymore because of whatsoever. And I just have to accept it. Because I'm not begging a friendship off of someone that doesn't even want to hear my opinion about something they heard about me. So I made the decision to become a better person and better myself and spend more time with myself and enjoy my own company. Okay, I need some tea now. So I made the decision to become a better person and not to be miserable and depressed again, because that's not going to bring me anywhere in life. I started working out every day. I started taking my Instagram more and more serious because obviously more opportunities were flowing in, and I just started spending time with myself, and that allowed me to find myself again and to realize that I actually only need myself to be happy. Like, I can find the happiness within. Because before this, and that's why I'm telling you this, guys, is it's not really about the story itself, because I feel like everyone is going through like fake friendships and all of these type of things, but it's more about how you overcome the situation to not end up being depressed and not doing nothing, but to become a better person and to grow through the situation. What I'm trying to tell you guys is that when you start taking anything serious in life, if it's school, uni, or like your job, or even like your career in general, people around you that you think are so supportive are going to start looking at you sideways. Like, that's just what I've learned. I even told you, like, they started making jokes about me on my Instagram. When I was younger, I didn't really have a lot of money, and I don't come from a rich home, so obviously certain type of things that they could afford, I couldn't. But when some opportunities came in because of my Instagram, things started to change, and they were really cool with it. That I could all of a sudden buy this thing too, or that all of a sudden I can do things that they cannot do. You have to be aware of this. Like, this life is not easy. Not everyone is going to support you. And maybe your best friend is going to hate on you when you start being successful in life with anything that you do. Even if it's a diet or something. You know girls be hating when your body is starting to look snatched and when you work out every day. You know how this is. And that's how it is with everything in life. And I've just realized that when I look back now, that I was focusing on this small group of friends that I had, and I was hoping for them to support me, when there are so many other people in the world that are supporting me now, which I'm so grateful of. I'm just saying, like, only because people around you don't support you, regardless of what you do, don't think there are other people out there that will support your vision and bring you closer to your goal. And that's why I'm saying I'm happy and grateful that this happened with these people, because at the end of the day, it made me a stronger and better person. Really, like, anyone can leave me now, and I know I can survive when I'm alone. I can do this on my own. I have to be my biggest supporter, and other people will start to support me. Sometimes when bad things happen in our lives, we think everything is over and we're never going to be happy again, but I cannot even believe that I'm so happy right now, because when I look back, I was really thinking I'm never going to be happy again, and everything happens for a reason. Some people, okay, I don't want to be a rapper, are only there for a season, or some people are just there to teach you a lesson, and these girls taught me how to be a bigger and better person and not to depend on anyone. I'm just trying to tell you, keep believing in your dreams. Don't give up because people laugh about you or someone turns their back on you, because at the end of the day, you will find the happiness only in yourself. And I hope I could help some of you with this story time. And if you'd like to see more story times, I am willing to share more of my life. And yeah, so I'll see you in my next video. Bye!